नमस्कार एक बार और आपको दिल से स्टोरीज पर। आज हमारे साथ हैं दालिया सेन ओबरॉय। वेलकम।
थैंक यू पराग जी।
अपना परिचय परिचय दीजिएगा हमारे दर्शकों के लिए।
मेरा नाम डालिया सेन ओबरॉय है। जैसे पराग जी ने बोला, मैं दिल्ली की रहने वाली हूँ एंड आई एम अ लॉयर. माय स्पेशलाइजेशन इज इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी राइट्स एंड I also do a lot of work for the publishing industry, and that's my main calling. My side hustle is that I'm also a writer. My first book, Ashramed, was published a year and a half ago by ASHRAMED. I'm a Kathak dancer. Yeah, just a few more things I do. I'm just try, because just being a lawyer all the time is rather boring for me. I look for challenges, and that's how I challenge myself.
Well, I will have to say you understated who you are. And apart from being all the things that you described, you do a lot more. So we'll hopefully get some more insights to those dimensions of you. And so with that, I'm Dr. Parag Bharadwaj, and let's get going. So, what got you interested in law?
So Parag, I'm a failed scientist. I tried my best to become a doctor because both my parents were doctors. My older brother is a doctor, and from the time I was a child, I was a good student as well, and it was just the normal. That was just the kind of like family profession, and didn't even think of anything else. Even though I was interested in journalism, I was a dancer from the age of 4. But this was an unwritten rule at home that we were all going to be doctors. And then the first tragedy happened, and I didn't get through medicine. And I started studying zoology honors. So I thought, okay, I'll start teaching. I'll do my PhD and I'll teach science because I'm a science buff. I do love sciences. But then after I passed out my BSc, my ma said that my father was her father was a judge, my nanaji. So she said, do law. And in those days we used to listen to what our parents said. So I said, okay, I'll do law. I mean, honestly, I didn't even give it a thought. But yeah, I've made law my own. I love the profession now, and especially the line I chose, intellectual property rights, because it kind of also keeps me very close to my first loves, which is art and creativity. Because IPR is involves copyrights and trademarks, and that gets me close to my artistic persona. So yeah, it worked well for me. I'm lucky.
So let's go back. You mentioned you were sort of destined to become a doctor, right? Because of how your family environment was. But so how did you deal with that situation when you said you didn't get into medicine? Was there a lot of pressure or disappointment? Yeah.
I was heartbroken, absolutely heartbroken. And a lot of people say now that, oh, maybe it was your family's expectations that they wanted you to be a doctor, and man hi man mein you didn't want to be a doctor. So I don't know. Itni mere ko jo pop psychology, I don't get so much into it. था नहीं था मुझे नहीं पता, because when you're 17 18 years old, I mean, I don't know how much maturity do you have. उस टाइम तो लग रहा था कि बहुत मन है, करना है. पर अब ऐसा लगता है कि अच्छा हुआ नहीं हुआ. अब मैं आई एम लविंग व्हाट आई एम नाउ. सो आई थिंक हर एज का अपना एक अपनी ही डिजायर होती है. तो so to get too much into whether I wanted it at that time or whether someone else wanted it for me is overthinking it. I think at every stage of our lives we have different desires, we have different wants, and we also keep changing as a person. So today I'm very, very happy that this happened. And well, going now that I'm also doing a bit of yoga, so wellness has come into my life, trying to help people with wellness. So I'm happy because maybe this is what I had wanted to do a long time back. serve people, get them to be healthy, maybe. So yeah, in my own small way, I'm again connected to that. So yeah, I'm happy in my space.
Thank you. I was going to say like था नहीं था लेकिन हो गया और जो हो गया अच्छा हो
बहुत अच्छा हुआ,
गया.
exactly. That's the only way to accept. और मुझे यही लगता है कि that we make too much out of that, this is the kind of person I am. I think none of us can say that, Parag ji, that I am this or I am that, because हम लोग भी change कर रहे हैं, आप change कर रहे हैं, मैं change कर रही हूँ, रोज के रोज. तो हर रोज हर दिन एक नया हमें परिचय मिलता है. तो उस परिचय को हमें एक्सेप्ट करना है, उसी को हमें अपनाना है और आगे चलना.
You use such a beautiful word, pariche, introduction, right? Every day is an introduction and very nice. So, tell us a little bit about you as a dancer. You said you started learning Kathak at the age of 4.
बिल्कुल, देखिए मैं एक बंगाली फैमिली को बिलोंग करती हूँ. माय माय फादर वाज बंगाली, माय माँ इज अ डोगरा. So I'm half Bengali, half Dogra. But the Bengali influence was very, very prevalent in my home. So as you know, Bengalis, कुछ ना कुछ तो करना है, गाना गाना है, नाचना है, पोइट्री लिखनी है. तो ये सब कूट 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 के भरा हुआ था. तो मेरा रुझाव, I was inclined towards dance. So my parents thought it fit for me to get formal training in dancing, and I was very, very lucky, Parag ji. आप जो भी कथक नृत्य से, if they know Kathak, they would know a very, very famous Guruji, Guru Durga Lalji. He was, in Delhi at that time teaching, and I had the good fortune of having him as my first guru. He died very young, but I learned from him, and I feel completely blessed. And I was very, very serious about pursuing probably a career also in dancing. But again, वो समय दूसरा था, that time was different. उस समय इस तरह के एक प्रोफेशन को अपनाना, इट वाज नॉट अच्छा तो नहीं, ऐसा नहीं, बुरा भी नहीं माना जाता था, बट इट वाज नॉट अ वेरी सेफ path to choose. And also, as a woman, especially in India, you had to be wary of all the other trappings that came up with this kind of a profession, the sexual exploitation involved and all of that. So my parents sat me down. I remember my father sat me down and he said, you know what, um, maybe there is some things in this field which you will not be able to accept, and for you to really go really very seriously into it. तो वो खत्म हो गया. Again, I didn't really pine about it. I didn't feel so bad about it कि अरे, जैसे कई हम कहानियां सुनते हैं, तो ऐसा कुछ इतना ड्रामेटिक हुआ नहीं. पापा ने बोला तो सुन लिया, ओके फाइन, ओके. सो ये एक हॉबी ही रहेगी, इसको हम सिर्फ एक हॉबी की तरह से देखेंगे और पढ़ाई करेंगे, एंड विल चूज अ सेफर प्रोफेशन.
Very good. And what about, I mean, you also teach yoga. How did you get into yoga? I mean, I'm assuming you're a very busy lawyer with all that you've said and what I know about you. So, uh, what got you interested in that aspect?
So, Paraji, I have always been very conscious of my health, fitness. So, I have been a dancer most of my life. तो जिम वगैरह तो जाती ही थी. सो आई यूज टू आई स्टार्टेड टेकिंग दीज, कभी कभी जिम में एक क्लास होती है योगा की. So I started getting very interested. So I thought I want to learn the philosophy behind yoga also, not just the asanas. And interestingly, very interesting thing, I actually got hooked onto yoga in England. I have a small setup in England also. तो मैं कुछ महीने साल के वहाँ रहती हूँ. And one of the teachers in the gym, the yoga teacher, I got very inspired by her, and I said, "Yeah, ये तो बड़ी अच्छी चीज है." Because after doing yoga, I felt very calm, which was very unlike all the other exercises that one does in the gym. Yoga was one exercise, after which I used to feel very calm and balanced. So I thought I want to do a little more in that. And idea at that time was to teach others. But Then I went into the yoga ashram. I chose a yoga ashram that was down south in Madurai. It was the Shivananda Yoga Ashram. And I did a teacher's training course there. And I believe it changed my life completely. And वहाँ जाके मुझे पता चला कि ये सब मैं, I was in denial. I was actually completely burnt out from my profession because my profession is really very, very demanding, very challenging. And it's all about strife. Law, when you do law, you're representing clients. There's a lot of strife involved. So आपको वो strife अपना बना लेना होता है so that your client can sleep easy at night. So all that strife had made me very unlike the person that I am actually. And वो बाद में पता चला when I went into the yoga ashram that actually I needed it for myself. I needed to hit pause. And after I hit pause, I realized that no matter what, I need to make time for myself, and all of us need to make time for ourselves. And when I came out of the ashram, uh, I came from a self imposed lockdown to a worldwide lockdown. I had no idea what was happening in the outside world because we had no access to news and everything. So मैं बाहर आई, or this was March 2020. I came out and the world was in turmoil. And the way I accepted, the way I kind of जैसे मैंने उस न्यूज़ को I made it my own. I personalized that news of this entire world going into lockdown. I realized that was the yoga training, the training that I had for 30 days. I was very calm about this, what was happening all around me. And that's when I decided that I needed to share this knowledge that I have imbibed in these 30 days with others, because this was gold. This was absolutely a treasure, that no matter what is happening outside, inside you need to be consistent. That consistency needs to be there, and that stillness needs to be there. So this teaching that I got with me, that you have to be just the same no matter what is happening around you, I wanted to share it with others. And that's when I decided that I will teach, even if it means just one class in a day, but I wanted to teach one on one, because I thought that in a group, because see, this is not my livelihood. I'm not doing it for a living. Like, people have 50 people in one class. So I said, no, that's not what I want. I genuinely wanted to share the knowledge. And I also decided to write a book about it, because I just thought that I need to tell. I mean, obviously I'm not the first one जिसको ये पता चला है कि एक work life balance होना चाहिए, and that the fact that we are very, very insignificant in this entire scheme of things is something which is, we all know about it, but we do not accept it, we do not realize it, we do not talk about it often enough. So I wanted to talk about it with professionals like me, who get so busy taking on the role of a lawyer, of a doctor, of a this, of a that. And because you are wearing that mask, you assume this importance. You think, you are this very big person, very big professional. So we had to take that mask off and look at the the true face behind it. So that is what I wanted to share with everyone.
That's amazing. And you are on Instagram and you do share some videos. And if I recall, there was one where you say that your goal for, I don't know if it was this year or the previous year, was to be able to do a certain posture, right?
Yes,
And
yes, handstand.
right. And I've done a little bit of yoga in the past, and what I find fascinating is, although it looks physical, somehow it seems to unknot the knots in your mind.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Paragji, I've written about that in my book as well, because the challenge for me in the ashram was to do the headstand, the Shirshasana. So I have dedicated an entire chapter to Shirshasana because, again, like you rightly said, I mean, that's a perfect observation, because it's not the physical strength, because physically we may be very, very capable. But to get that balance to do a headstand, that comes from within, that comes from inside, to have that calmness of mind, body, spirit. And when you get that alignment, you could do the Asana, the headstand. So this was one of the challenges I faced in the ashram, and I've written about it. So yeah, and that's what happened with me for the handstand. Though I have still not perfected it, but I have gone a long, long way now. If you've seen the my Instagram post, I have been able to do it, not hold it for a long time, but I'm getting there.
Great. So I would suggest to the audience to, follow you on Instagram and monitor your progress. So tell
Thank
us
you.
about, you mentioned the book. So tell us about the book. How did that come about, and uh, what can walk away after reading it?
Yeah, I have it right here. The book is called Ashram. And if you can make out, this is half lawyer, half uh, yogini. That's how we designed the cover. And it says Ashram, from chaos to calm. So again, funnily, when there is so much of chaos within us or around us, we are the first ones to deny it, because we feel we are in control. I mean, at least I thought that. I thought I was in control of my life, of my office, of my work, of my family. Uh, but जब शोर पूरा खत्म हुआ, when the all the noises subsided, I realized that actually this was cacophony, this was so much noise, where my own voice had actually got lost. So I found that voice back in the ashram, and hence I said from chaos to calm, because it's only when you're calm can you actually hear your own voice, because otherwise it's getting lost between your role of a lawyer, the role of a boss, the role of a mother, wife, this big person you want everyone to believe you are. So this book, it's each chapter, it has 30 chapters. Each chapter is about the days, one day spent in the yoga ashram where I did the teachers training course. And I've just picked up incidents, and it's light reading. And at the end of each chapter, I've given a little moral of the story kind. It has a few sketches as well. I think all of us, especially professionals, who become who have this delusion about themselves, we're all a little delusionary. So you'll enjoy reading the book. It's funny, and it's written in a very simple English, nothing very big. And yeah, please pick it up. It's available on Amazon, and you'll like it. And it's all about just being ashramed all the time. Like I say that ashramed state of mind means just to have that consistency, samanvayata andar ek, ek the same, regardless of where you are, who you are, what you're wearing, what you have, just to be the same person inside. So yeah, that's what the book is all about.
One aspect to you is that you're very creative. That's one thing I've observed. And so, how did you come up with this name?
Ashram. Yeah, so funny. I wanted to name. See, I'm an IPR lawyer. So सबसे पहले तो I had to not copy any other name, because I'm very, particular about that. And also all the names that I wrote in my book, about all my colleagues who were with me in the ashram, I changed all the names, and I took their permission before. So yeah, that's the lawyer in me. So I coined this term because it has no English meaning, and it actually is a coined word which describes the kind of state of mind I am asking myself to be in, and whoever comes in contact with me, I'm asking them to be too. This ashram state of mind, that you can be in an ashram like surrounding, even sitting in your own house, sitting in your workplace. You don't need the trappings of an ashram, but you can make it your own if you have, these criteria about you. Yeah, that sthirta, that stillness, that silence, and that mulakat with yourself. That just introduction with yourself. So that's how I came about this word, and it has no one else is using it. So whoever uses ashram, I will know is copying my name.
And beware. Yeah,
There.
yeah. You are a lawyer. So uh, fascinating. And you decide how much you want to share about this particular aspect of you, and you like lyrics as well. Are you a poet or a lyricist as well? How would you uh,
Parag, I started as a poet. I've been writing in Hindi for a very, very long time. From my early when I was a young teenager, I've been writing. And my older brother Palash Sen, who's the lead vocalist of Euphoria. So when he was his first album, when he was coming out with his first album, he used to sing only in English until then. That was the only genre he used to sing in. And he some the advice, the feedback he got from everyone was that if he wanted to release an album, it should be in Hindi. So he should start, you know, doing songs in Hindi. So then, because he knew I write poetry in Hindi, so he said, Dahlia, please help me. And I've made this song, Sha na 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 na, Sha na na na. So he's just made the chorus. He just made that line. And Dahlia, please kuch dal isme so that I can make a Hindi song. Tab tak he had no other Hindi songs. So I still remember he just he taped the tune onto a cassette, and I went to office and I had it on my Walkman. And during the lunch break, I I wrote the lyrics, and he loved it. The record company loved it, and it was a hit. That was the first Hindi song of Euphoria that got released. And yeah, ever since I wrote lyrics, of course, for my brother Palash, and for Shubha Mudgal, for Shubhaji, I've written for her. I've written for Shujat Khanji. I've written for others as well. Jingles, ad jingles. So yeah, that's how it is. I have still not published my poetry. My brother still teases me about it, that it's very sad and it's very emotional poetry. But yeah, maybe someday, Paragji, I will also publish my Hindi poetry. That is my dream. अभी तो बिल्कुल ही secret में है. But yeah, I've been my creative juices have been expressed through all these wonderful songs that I've written for my brother and for the others I need.
fascinating? Yeah. So look forward to your poetry being published, and I'm definitely going to buy your book. It sounds fascinating. Uh, is there any other aspect of you that we have missed? Because the more I'm talking to you, as a doctor, I'm going to make the diagnosis. It seems like you have a lot of free time on your hands.
Yeah, I just pretend to be busy. No, absolutely. And you
Uh,
know what, Ragji, I had, again, like we were just discussing that at every age, you keep changing. So when I was a younger person, I thought that, by the age I'm 30, 35, I would have written several books, because I am essentially, I feel, a dancer and a writer. Those are my two biggest strengths. So, but it never happened because I didn't have the time. Life happens. You become a lawyer, you become very busy, then you get married, you have children, and life just goes out of hand. So I went back to my dancing after 25 years. I went back on stage. So I'm now again performing again. And this book also just happened by chance. And I didn't realize that so late in life, I would have published a book. So absolutely, Paragji, I want to write more. I want to write another book. And yeah, that is the dream. And to keep challenging myself, absolutely. Because we need to make time. We need to make time for ourselves. And it's just people who say that they don't have time at all, I think are just maybe fooling themselves or others. Because agar hum nikalna chahe, to all of us do have that time for ourselves.
And so I would just like to share with the audience. So we've been going back and forth for months, right? Uh, and yet you found time. You always find time for yourself. I mean, the reason why I'm sharing that is you're a very busy person, right? And yet you find time to take care of yourself and connect with yourself. And very thankful that you took the time
Thank you
to
so
speak
much,
with us.
Parag. You've given me so much respect. Honestly, I feel I'm very, very ordinary, but you thought my life was interesting enough for you to even speak with me. So I'm very grateful. I just hope that I can just, live up to the absolute trust that you placed in me and my abilities. So thank you very much.
Of course. Just a lawyer joke. I have my immense trust in you, but can lawyers be trusted?
They can't. They can't.
Yeah,
But you can trust the yogini in me. The other half.
yeah,
You can trust the
yeah.
other half.
So that was just a joke, by the way, right? The so just curious, right? Growing up, having watched Indian movies, you look at the typical lawyer garb in India, with the black and white, right? Is that how you go to the court?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we wear. Absolutely. Absolutely. In winters, we have to wear the gown as well. Ek lamba sa jo gown hota hai.
Right.
Normally, during summers, we have to wear the black band and the coat, black coat, and either white clothes or black clothes. Nothing, no other color.
And so, how long is the training for law? Is it 4 years?
So you have two options, but when I passed out, I did my undergraduation in zoology honors. I just mentioned before we started the meeting, so I did my zoology honors, and then so 3 years of that, and then 3 years of LLB. But
Right.
you can also now you have that option. I didn't have it at my time, but now you have the option of doing 5 years immediately after school. So 5 years of law. Yeah.
Very nice.
And
Very impressive. Well, thank you so much for sharing your time with us. It's been an honor, and I hope you keep us updated, and we have you back again on our channel.
thank you so much, Parag. Thank you so much. Lovely,
Thank you.
lovely. Thank you so much. Stay ashramed, all of you. Stay ashramed.
Yes, and it's please consider buying that book, and we will
And
we will
that
put the
too.
link in the description along with your Instagram account. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.